Greetings, everybody. The YHWH Nomad with YHWH Resiliency. Let's talk about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. The concept of being securely starving. What do I mean by that? You got your guns. You got all your stuff you need to be secure. You have your security force. But what you don't have is enough food to last. And I know, I go on and on about, you need food, you need water, oh God, but what about the pew-pews? We like our guns, we gotta buy more guns. Well, you'll be securely starving. So, and what are we drinking tonight? Rams Point peanut butter whiskey. So, yes, we're drinking the adult beverage, Rams Point peanut butter whiskey. It's not bad. It's not screwball, but this is not bad. It's got a good peanut butter taste. If you like peanut butter whiskeys, I like my salted caramels. I like my peanut butter whiskeys. Also like Jefferson's. So, as we want to look at this, is you need to be able to step away from your myopic paradigms of that narrow view of, I gotta have more guns, we gotta have our plate carriers, gotta have our bump helmets, gotta have our night vision goggles. Because, I want my family, I need to perpetuate normalcy for my family. Having all that equipment, that's normalcy? Is that normal for you to put on and wear every single day? Is that normal? Having to fight off the sub-Saharan Ukrainian paratroopers or the super zombie volcanoes. We haven't brought up super zombie volcanoes. Not that one in a long time. But what is normalcy? I mean, I wake up in the morning, I do my workout, I eat breakfast, I get ready, I go to work. And of course, my morning is not morning. My morning is usually about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my God, you sleep so late. Oh my God, you lazy person. I work a night shift. Don't forget about that. My bedtime is usually when most people are getting up, 4:30 a.m. because I get home at 2:30. So there's that. That's not normalcy. The 4:30 wake up time, that's normal. And my wife is sitting here cringing, freaking out, going, no. She's not a morning person. I can do whatever. But talking about the importance of perpetuating normalcy, buying 15 guns a year is not normal. I know some of you are like, yeah, it is. What are you preparing for? How often are you training? Because remember, ownership does not equate to skill. Just because you own them doesn't mean you're skilled. Ownership does not equate to proficiency. Instead of buying all these guns every week, a new gun, I got another gun. Invest some of that money into some actual training. And what we'll do is one of these videos, I'll hook you up with companies people that you should train with. Good people that know their stuff. Some of them, they might not even train you. You got to be at a certain level. So some of them are like, hey, you need to lose a little bit more body fat and get yourself in a little bit better shape before I start working with you. Ask me how I know that conversation. But that's for totally different stuff, and due to OPSEC, we're not going to talk about that. But I understand. Yes, I like guns. I own guns. But if you want to perpetuate normalcy, it's not stockpiling guns and ammo. It's stacking food to the rafters. Because eventually, you're not going to be able to get the food. Sorry, maybe tinfoil hat time or whatever. But the system is slowly imploding. When Rome fell, it took 300 years. It wasn't overnight. we still haven't recovered from 2008 recession. And we can go back to the 70s and we still haven't recovered from that. So what are you perpetuating? How are you going to perpetuate normalcy? So let's put a little test here. What's more important, a freeze dryer or night vision goggles? I know a lot of you go sit there in the comments. Please put down what you really think it is, and don't put down what you think I want you to say. What do you think it is? Would you, if you had $3,000, would you buy a Harvest Right freeze dryer or 7 Nods? I know some of your answers. If it isn't a freeze dryer, you're wrong. Sorry, you are. How often do you need Nods? Are you helping rescue children? Are you part of a team that goes in and, removes children from a very hostile, dangerous situation where they're being abused? Are you helping women get out of a situation where they're being abused? Are you? Yeah, that's the cool guy stuff. We can go into the real, what it really takes. That lasts maybe a minute to 2 minutes. The 3 to 6 months of the workups and the planning that has to go into effect before you go on one of these, so everything's done right. That's boring. I know people. I want to put on my plate carrier and play G.I. Joe. You're going to end up being securely starving. On top of that, if you don't have a way to replace your food, when you pop that lid off of that first container of food, that's the hourglass. That's the countdown till starvation. Sorry, city folk. You don't got sheep, you don't got cow, got a few hens, you don't have a rooster because you're not allowed in the city because you're HOA. But you got your Nods. Something to contemplate. Are you really safe? Are you really going to withstand the collapse of society living in the urban areas? And I know that, I can't move. Well, that's your choice. I understand that and I respect that. But if you're planning long-term survival, living in the city, you're whoring in Babylon, my friends. You're whoring in Babylon. And it's not a panic situation. It's not a, what do we call it? It's not a condemnation. The words. I'm not trying to put you down. But you have to evaluate that normalcy. I mean, obviously living in the suburbs, living in the city, that's normal. What is the long-term situation? How many of you know your neighbors? What are they capable of if they were starving? Now the real question is, what are you capable of if you're starving? Maybe that's the reason why you're stockpiling all the guns, because you're planning on taking grandpa's moldy ass graham crackers on a long enough timeline. You're a loot drop. Keep that in mind. Prioritize your preps and think continued normalcy. Get yourself out of the myopic paradigms of I gotta have more guns, I gotta have all this. You're not Call of Duty. You're just a regular old Joe trying to outlast from the time of the collapse to the time of the rebuild. Everyone thinks that the end of the world's, that's the end of the world. Well, no. There's going to be a point when everything ends that we know currently today in the rebuild. Oh, that'll never happen. That's what they said about the carriage and the horseless carriage. That's what they said about typewriters. That'll never change. That will never happen in America. You know, I am so glad that the United States government would never think of shutting down small businesses, telling people not to leave their homes. The fact that my average next door neighbor, the average citizen, wouldn't be screaming and yelling, stay in your house. That'll never happen in America. But it did. And it should have made you wiser to the situation. But many of you have fallen into the same bullshit as always, and just putting your head in the sand. Yep, I got all the time in the world. You don't. But going on 12 minutes here, a little bit longer than I want to carry on. This is just an average, just a night talk about removing yourselves from that narrow vision, trying to remove yourself from that securely starving. I don't want that for you. I want you to thrive. As Brother TJ said to a question I asked him the other night, I asked him, what opinions and mindset have you changed that made your preps better? The big answer, the number one answer that he gave me, which makes a lot of sense, he stopped thinking about life preparedness as 10% of what you do, but changed it to it's a way of life. It's homesteading. Preparedness isn't something you do 10% of the time. It's a lifestyle. And that lifestyle does not include buying every frickin' polymer, striker, fire, handgun you can get your hands on. It's farming. It's raising chickens. It's gardening. It's being able to build things with your hands. Actually helping your neighbors. Actually having an open, kind heart. And not so worried about what some moron is doing. Way too many folks, this person's doing this. Who cares? Does that affect your bathwater? Hope not. But with that, I'm the YCO Nomad. Watch your six. Till next time. Remember, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, comment, help the YouTube algorithms, help this channel grow. Also, in the description is links to companies that you can buy things from that help this show grow by better sound equipment, better cameras. Also, it adds coffers, money to the coffers to help the soon-to-be LLC. We're not going to say the name of it yet because I've done a name change, but something big is in the works, something I have planned. But with that, watch your six. Peace and love, everybody. Till next time, and thank you. And those of you that have been buying coffee, thank you. You're awesome. I love it. Buy more coffee. YCO20 in the description. All that good stuff. Bye. Cheers.